actually just started running a couple of years ago. I ran my first marathon in October. Living in Wellesley, I always walk down and watch the marathon every year with my family. So, you know, when I realized I could run a marathon, I was like, it seemed like a good thing to shoot for, to try to run Boston, since it's, you know, runs right through my hometown. My running history is pretty short. It actually goes back to when I was in middle school. I ran cross country. I thought it was the worst thing ever. I did it briefly, and we had to run 1.5 mile races, and I was like, this is it. Swore off running forever. And then a couple years ago, when my younger son was 1, I decided to pick up running again, just as, you know, I needed kind of both the mental break from everything between work and home, and I also needed a way to start exercising again. So I signed up for a 10K in 2014, I guess it was. I ran my first 10K, and then I kind of caught the running bug a little bit, ran my first half marathon in 2015, and then just ran my first marathon in October. And so,
where was that?
In Chicago, which is my hometown actually. So I grew up in Chicago. So Chicago and Boston are kind of my two homes. So it's kind of fitting that I ran the Chicago Marathon. Now I'm going to get to run Boston. I really enjoy just getting out. You get to kind of just be, you know, kind of have that time to reflect, to think about whatever, or you can kind of just zone out. I usually run with music. You just kind of get out there, and but I do find it to be kind of a relaxing way to take a break from my day. Usually you have to qualify. I'm not that fast. So the other option is to run for a charity. So there are a lot of charities that you can support for the Boston Marathon. I was very fortunate to be able to support a local Wellesley charity. All the towns along the marathon route get a certain number of bids that they can give to local charities to help raise money for the local community. So I'm running on behalf of World of Wellesley, which is a local community organization really focusing on fostering a welcoming community and really celebrating diversity here in Wellesley. Basically, I'm raising money for World of Wellesley to help support the different initiatives that they have in the neighborhood. I think it's also been very helpful because I'm using my running and my fundraising as a way to raise awareness for this charity, because I think it's an organization that some people have heard of, maybe a little bit, but it's really an opportunity for me to help use this as kind of a platform to help more people in Wellesley learn about World of Wellesley. So they do a lot of different events throughout the community. They were actually just at the Board of Selectmen's meeting just last week, I believe it was, to talk about, you know, creating and fostering a more welcoming environment. There's a couple events actually on Monday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. They're doing a variety of different things to just make sure people really understand that Wellesley is a place where all people are welcome, and that all people really can get to know each other. So there was actually a unity walk a little ways back as well. Just really ways to bring the community together, because I think Wellesley is a wonderful place. I found everybody here to be very welcoming. I've lived here for about 10 years, but there are always a lot of new young families, and we want people to realize that Wellesley is a great place to come and to raise your families as well. My training regimen is lighter than probably a lot of other people, because I can fit in what I can. So I usually run 3 days a week, usually 2 weekdays, and then I go out for a long run like I'm about to on a Saturday. I also have been trying to be better. This is one of my takeaways from the last marathon, is I'm trying to be better about getting some strength training in there. So I've just started trying to factor in strength training once a week too. So usually 3 runs and then 1 or 2 other kinds of exercise throughout the week. So I have a fundraising site on CrowdRise. So we have a site that you can come to. You can actually access it through all the other Boston Marathon charities are there. But CrowdRise has a site where you can donate to my World of Wellesley fundraising for the Boston Marathon. So I'm really excited about this opportunity. I'm hopeful for a mild winter like we had last year, so that it helps me with my training. After having run through, training through the summer, I'm a little bit nervous about winter training, but I'm really excited about it, and I'm excited to be running through Wellesley in April.
You're killing it. You're killing it.